Man, alright, hope you guys are excited for the next MCU movie. Let's check out and see what's next. Oh, Iron Man 3. Everybody, it's your friendly neighborhood nerd, Brock, coming at ya. Iron Man 3 is what we're talking about today. I kind of made fun of it a little bit there. A lot of people think this is the worst MCU movie. I actually don't. Not one of the best, but not one of the worst. But before we get started, let me know what you guys think about Iron Man 3. Do you like it? Do you hate it? What do you think about it? Definitely give this a like, a share, a subscribe wherever you're at. If you're on Facebook, definitely give my page a like. And if you're on YouTube, definitely subscribe as well if you guys are enjoying this type of content. Iron Man 3, the plot of this one, it takes place 6 months after the events of the Battle of New York and the first Avengers. We have Tony Stark, who is dealing with PTSD after almost dying and just this massive high anxiety, and it's showing you what it would be like to be a superhero after a big battle like that. We've got some demons coming back from his past to haunt him with Aldrin Killian, who is head of AIM. And they're leading this extremist project, and a lot of things just kind of come full circle for him to deal with, and he gets to really see how much of a man he is without the iron. Not to be funny, but that is the main plot of this movie. Tony Stark has to protect what he loves while dealing with a new threat. What I like about this movie, just real quick, I like how much, again, Robert Downey Jr. just owns and was born to play this role. And it just seems so seamless. Like I think when an actor does such a good job is when you don't see the character they're playing, but when the actor himself just appear and all you see is that character. And that's totally Iron Man. That's totally Tony Stark. I like the action in this film. I think it's really cool. Shane Black, who directed this movie, he directed like the Predator movie, the reboot a couple years ago. He's just got some fun, fast dialogue. I always like when movies are set in Christmas. I'm also a sucker for that as well. Iron Man 3 definitely has some good pacing too. And the special effects are really good here as well. You get to just see all of the suits that Tony has built in the end, just what he's been up to, but just even the new technology that he's building with the suit, being able to come to himself on command, do some things he put in his arm. It's kind of a fun thing about it. I also really like the casting of Ben Kingsley as the Mandarin, and you see why I put that in quotations as well. Pepper Potts, played by Gwyneth Paltrow, is also really good as here. I also like Ty Simpkins as well as the kid, Harley, who is kind of Iron Man's sidekick in like the second half of the film. This film, there's some really fun dialogue. It's really witty. Again, the back and forth between Tony Stark and like Pepper Potts, and even when he's with Rhodey, aka War Machine, played by Don Cheadle. Actually, it's called the Iron Patriot in this one. It's really good. I like the fight scenes when he's in the suit. I think it's really cool. I think that still holds up. I love the third act final battle that he has with all of the extremist people, the villains of Aldrich Killian, like his henchmen and different things like that. But for me, kind of after that's where I run into a lot of problems with this film. The main reason Iron Man 3 definitely is criticized a lot, and I can definitely agree on it, is the plot twist that they took with one of their villains. And this is a spoiler alert. If you haven't seen it, I'm going to be going into some spoilers here. The Mandarin is not the Mandarin. He is an actor. He's just a face that Aldrich Killian puts to for his plans and his schemes. And what they decided to do with it just doesn't work for me. Mandarin was one of the most intimidating Iron Man villains in the comics, and like one of his foes. Like they actually had a rivalry. So when they announced the villain and the casting was spot on, a lot of people were excited, including myself. But the handling of it is pretty botched, and it just doesn't work. There's that line at the end where he says, "You want the real Mandarin, Tony? I am the Mandarin." Aldrich Killian, played by Guy Pearce, where he has a pretty good performance, by the way. But it's like, okay, Marvel, you don't need to go as for the punchline. And the way that they did it just didn't work for me. I also think that there's probably too much of this movie that has Tony Stark out of the suit when he's in Tennessee after, what a dumb decision to say, and I know it shows how cocky he is to say, "Hey, supervillain, here's my address, come at me." Like, what did he think was going to happen? And he had a suit that just wasn't functioning, and then it's like he goes without the suit for probably about like 35 minutes, pretty much the whole second act. And I just, again, when I see an Iron Man movie, I want to see him as Iron Man. And also, I don't really like their treatment of like Don Cheadle's character, Rhodey. I mean, the Iron Patriot, he's not really in it at all. They just really, change his costume to, for fan service, because the Iron Patriot in the comics is a completely different character. We don't get to see him in action at all. He's just in a couple scenes where he flies in, he flies out. And the suit and the in battle with everything is not even used. He has to save the president. I think that's really lame. I don't like that at all. And then also, too, you just get to, at the end, this was, if you wonder why the ending's a little weird, when he's like throwing away all the stuff, he's getting the arc reactor out of his chest. This actually, originally, it's going to sound crazy, was supposed to be Robert Downey Jr.'s last movie as Iron Man, because they had not renewed his contract up to this point. So if you're like, it's kind of got like an ending feeling to it, that's what happens, because the next time we see him in Avengers Age of Ultron, he's just back, and that like never happens. That's kind of a plot hole Marvel's like, we don't really want to talk about, which is fine. But it's just like, why is he throwing it away? We don't want to see that. And again, it just doesn't work for me. It's not a bad movie. A lot of people think this is the worst MCU movie. It's not. Like I said, I'm going to tell you which one that is for me, and it's clear which one is the worst. But it's just this kind of film where it's like, okay, you did some cool stuff for the fans. This was the first movie after the Avengers, and it was highly anticipated. And it made a bunch of money. It made like $1 billion plus. But it's just not good. What I liked about Iron Man 3, good action. Always love me some Robert Downey Jr.'s Tony Stark. The Mandarin, when he's like, we think he's the Mandarin, is really cool. But for me, the pacing's a little off. I don't like the villain switch. War Machine is not really in this movie at all. Iron Patriot, whatever. And also, Tony Stark's out of the suit way too much for me in the second act. And the Harley Kid, he's cool. But just for me, it doesn't work as much because it's just kind of like some, he's helping Tony Stark, whatever. And the villain, Guy Pearce, who is the Mandarin, Aldrich Killian, he's just kind of just this other good-looking dude that's supposed to, offset Tony Stark in a way. But just doesn't work for me. So, wrapping this up, I'm going to give Iron Man 3 a C. It's kind of a middle-of-the-pack movie for me. So, you guys all know what's coming next. I have Thor: The Dark World coming up. I haven't really watched this in some years, so I'm definitely curious and optimistic to check it out again. But please let me know what you guys think about Iron Man 3. Do you like it? Do you hate it? Where does it kind of fall in your MCU rankings? And if you guys have seen my set, you probably have seen what I'm going to be talking about next. Yes, the James Bond series. My goal is to do one a month up to the new Daniel Craig in November. I'm a huge fan of the series, starting with Casino Royale. Going to be a great one. But definitely give this a like, comment, share, subscribe, all the good stuff. I appreciate it. I hope you guys like it as well. And definitely just, I'm a feedback guy, so definitely let me know what you guys think about the movies in general. And if you want, definitely subscribe here and check out a couple videos here as well. So, without further ado, my name's Brock. I'm your friendly neighborhood nerd. We'll see ya. Bye. And also, I didn't forget. Actually, you know what? Let's switch it up.